Greetings and welcome, fellow seekers of enlightenment. Today, we delve deep into the mystical realm of psychedelic mushrooms as we go on a journey of mind-expanding exploration. In this video, Goom Slayer will be sharing a tale of a recent trip he took with some close friends. So sit back, relax, and prepare to open your mind to the wonders of the psychedelic experience. Let the journey begin. By some happenstance, I encountered a dealer with Tasmanian shrooms through a mutual friend. Without delay, I obtained a generous 15-gram dose as I anticipated my comrade's eagerness to embark on this journey of the mind. My two forays were set in two entirely distinct locations. The first took place in Cape Town, at the palatial dwelling of my friend, who I shall refer to as Donald for levity, alongside his sibling, known as Goofy. Their estate was nothing short of magnificent, replete with a massive theater room, 9 capacious bedrooms, multiple salons, 2 aquatic pools, and a handful of superfluous rooms, of no importance to this account. The second excursion occurred in a dense forest nearby my domicile in KwaZulu-Natal. This woodland was devoid of people, yet impressively surreal, even without the presence of psychedelics. As for Donald's mother and stepfather, they were off on their honeymoon, leaving the house to ourselves with the exception of Donald's stepsister, who either absented herself or stayed out of our way. Our psychoactive evening began in Donald's room, where we shared a large joint of Durban poison. As a 100% sativa strain, we opted for DP to elevate our spirits and avoid any undesirable consequences. Then we consumed mushrooms. Donald took 4 grams, Goofy ingested 4.5, and I took 3.5. The DP's invigorating effect induced a feeling of restlessness, compelling us to explore the garden. It was 11 p.m., and the night sky was cloudless, unveiling an awe-inspiring view of the stars for a brief 5-10 minutes. After chatting for around 20 minutes, factoring in my prior shroom experience, which took 30 minutes to take effect, we sensed the onset of our trip. My companions promptly decided to relocate to the theater room, where Goofy, a seasoned drug user, had an extensive collection of trance psychedelic music exceeding 20 gigs. He connected his computer to the massive movie screen and began playing Prometheus's track, the volume of which was intense enough to make us tremble. Goofy then launched Gorse, a visualization program that, in conjunction with psychedelics and fast music, creates mesmerizing visual effects. The visuals, music, and sativa high produced a sublime experience. The patterns on the screen were so captivating that words cannot express the pleasure that overwhelmed my being. Suddenly, I was no longer gazing at a screen. The whole room was alive, swirling with Gorse insignia. The music dominated my thoughts, and infected mushroom's melody reverberated throughout the chamber. The harmony of the tune was everything. All else was irrelevant. Then, as if the music had prompted it, my subconscious spoke to me, questioning my reasons for embarking on this trip. I replied that I wanted to improve as a being. From that point on, the trip became truly transformative. Driven by the music and urged by the magical mushrooms, all concerns about self-awareness dissipated. At this stage, I was no longer worried about my friends' opinions and focused only on enhancing my experience. Why be concerned about what others think, I pondered. We have only one life, so what's the point of holding back? Fully immersed in the trip, I danced as if I had never lived before, feeling truly alive. My body felt as if it had liquefied, flowing with the music. Donald and Goofy were also dancing, and we partied ceaselessly for what felt like an eternity, yet the moment it ended felt instantaneous. Eventually, we sobered up, turned off the music, and talked for a while, sharing what we had gained from the experience and how awe-inspiring it had been. Donald said that he had newfound admiration for humanity, while Goofy divulged that he had simply had a good time and was not ready to call it a night. Goofy, who was still tripping, though coming down, decided to go raving and invited us to join him. Donald understandably declined, being exhausted, and as I was closer to Donald, I too stayed behind. We briefly discussed the night's magnitude, then retired at 4 a.m. Approximately 1 week after my previous excursion with Donald and Goofy, my yearning to indulge in the mystical power of the mushroom became insatiable. The visual appeal of my remaining stash was so irresistible that I could not resist taking them out and admiring their stunning blue splendor. I found myself feeling inclined to explore their texture, mass, and aroma, and so I did. Yielding to my desire, I placed 2 grams of the enchanting fungi into my mouth and began to slowly chew. In order to obtain the maximum benefits of the mushroom's effects, I took 5 minutes to consume the first 2 grams and an additional 5 minutes to consume the second. To alleviate my concerns about a negative trip, I employed my bong and inhaled 2 long pulls of chronic, which I find to be a gentle but delightful high. It unquestionably set the stage for my excursion, putting me into an optimistic mindset. I was excited to experience the mushroom's full potential without any of the gadgetry from my past expedition. Although the previous journey had been extraordinary, it had not allowed me to truly experience all that the mushrooms had to offer. Satisfying my thirst, I consumed a liter of Coca-Cola, the elixir that courses through my veins, and set out on foot to the forest, listening to Prana Geomantic, Primal Orbit, to be precise, on my phone. Upon reaching a substantial boulder surrounded by trees, I sat and gazed upon a vista of the adjacent mountains. As I sat and listened to music, I eagerly anticipated the approaching euphoria while reveling in the ambiance of the forest, which was heightened by my THC-enhanced senses. Then, as my phone advanced to the next track, a tune by Tiesto, Orange Theme, began to play, and everything suddenly felt better. My muscles relaxed, and the entire landscape before me swirled as if moved by a great breeze. It was awe-inspiring, and suddenly I comprehended art, as everything had meaning, and every living thing worked to improve the overall scene. Once again, I was asked what I hoped to gain from this trip. This time my answer was to gain a deeper understanding of myself, which turned out to be the best decision of my life. In an instant, I was reborn, becoming impartial to the criticism of what I had been. I spent what felt like a lifetime meticulously probing my memories of the past few years, reconsidering what was right and wrong, accepting my flaws, and resolving to follow the best path for my future. I determined that my life had been in neutral, that I had been lazy, self-centered, and ignorant in the path I had chosen. I was now determined to start anew, challenging prejudice, and disassociating myself from the foolish ignorance that a part of me had once been so thoughtlessly ardent to follow. Enlightened and jubilant, I stood up, grateful for the opportunity to start anew. For the next few hours, I wandered the forest, feeding my newly acquired senses. Every touch was novel, and every sound was extraordinary. I felt like a newborn, experiencing everything for the first time. Nothing seemed malevolent, and for once, all was at peace. Suddenly, I felt the urge to capture my surroundings using my phone's 5-megapixel camera, and I persisted until my phone's memory ran out, enjoying every manifestation. After what seemed like an eternity, I left the forest in search of home, slowly returning to my old self, yet not quite the same. Each thought from the trip I still uphold. I now experience a restored vitality. My old and new selves have been integrated, gradually becoming one. While I have returned to my previous state, I will never be the same. I have been greatly enhanced as an individual, and am now committed to bettering myself and others. This journey was truly an affirmative one, providing me with the strength to tackle long-standing procrastinations. I have gained newfound appreciation for psychedelics and may indulge in shrooming once more in the future, though not for some time. If my resolve wavers again, perhaps I will partake. For now I feel magnificent, overflowing with positivity, and content with my life. Thank you for tuning in to Goom Slayer's Tale. I hope this video has inspired you to explore the benefits and insights that psychedelics can offer. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment sharing your thoughts or similar experiences. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. As always, stay safe and keep exploring.